Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and today I thought we'd take a bit of a closer look at this. I don't know if you saw the little short I put up yesterday. I wasn't actually even planning to put that up on YouTube, to be honest. I borrowed this off a friend of mine because I needed to trim some little branches on a tree. And I just took that little video to send to another friend of mine to show him this thing. And I thought, well, I might as well stick it up on the channel. And it had over 1,000 views in under 24 hours. So I thought, I'll just do a slightly longer video for people that watch my channel properly about this thing. Now, I will say straight away, Big Clive has already done a full teardown on a very, very similar machine to this. I think it is the same machine, just a different colour. Where he literally strips it completely down, has a look at the motor and everything. I'm not going to be doing that in this channel. One, because this doesn't belong to me, and two, because Big Clive's already done it and he can do a far better job than I can. In fact, what I'll do is I'll stick a link in my description below this video to Big Clive's actual proper teardown of one of these. But anyway, as I put in my video yesterday, it's like the most fun, dangerous toy tool ever devised. It is literally a handheld small chainsaw, and as you saw in that video, it's actually got some serious power to it. It's got many shall we say flaws to the design. So I thought, like I said, what we'll do is I'll get you down on the bench here. We'll just have a quick look through it, and I'll just go through some of the flaws that this machine has, and actual practical use for it. Because as flawed as this thing is, it does actually have, I found, a really nice practical use. So let's get right to it anyway. I'll reset the camera and we'll get down on the bench. Okay, we're all set up on the bench, and essentially this is how my friend received it. I believe one of his kids bought it as a Christmas present or something like that. Slightly lethal Christmas present, because my friend's in his 80s. He is very active, and he's a very active gardener. But even so, this, like I said, this was sent as a Christmas present to him, and he used it once, and it didn't work properly for him, and he stuck it in a drawer until I was up at his house, because he wanted me to help cut down an old cherry tree which was diseased. And I took my proper chainsaw up and we had the tree down in 5 minutes. But he got this out at that point and said, could I have a look at it, because he, like I said, he'd been bought it as a present, and it didn't seem to work very well. Anyway, it was incredibly simple what was wrong with it. Apparently it had come, literally as you see it now in this box, it's not as fancy as the one that Big Clive reviewed, because that actually had like a proper case and all the bits in it. I think that had 2 batteries with it. This literally come like this, and as they'd sent it, what they'd actually done is they'd put the chain on the wrong way around, so when you span it up, the chain was actually running in the wrong direction, and that's why it wasn't cutting. I flipped the chain round, and obviously, as you can see, it does actually cut really well. But what do you get? So we get the tool itself. We get a very lightweight charger. It feels like there's nothing in it at all. We get a battery. Now, I think Big Clive pointed this out as well. I think these are a copy of what Makita use nowadays. I mean, I don't have any Makita power tools like this. All my Makita stuff it's the old school stuff like this that use the big batteries that plugged in there. Modern Makita stuff, they've gone to this very slim line. I mean, these are proper, I think they use 18650s in them. Even like the proper Makita ones, they have a bank of 18650s in them. So these are modern lithium cells. But I think those will actually fit a Makita product. So you get a battery, you get the instruction manual, You get a spanner to actually change to get into the chain, and they even supply you with a little double-ended screwdriver. So you've got a flat blade, pull it out, and you've got a Phillips, and that is needed for the tool. Let's have a quick look at this this instruction manual. As you can see, I mean, this is the idea of this. Small branches, stuff like that. That was the idea behind it. Now, this is what I find interesting. This is all we get, one A4 sheet folded. The English is not bad, I would say. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. But this is where we get, this is basically explaining the tool. And as you see, we have the battery, the main base, a safety trigger, then we have the speed switch, and we have an oil can fill there. Then things about the chain, you know, the chain bar, chain, things like that. But if we come to the actual tool itself, where's that safety switch? We don't have one. We just have a trigger to power it. There is no safety switch built into it, nor is there an oil reservoir built into it. So although it looks like it, I mean, what they're describing in here, all I can guess is there is a tool, probably by a better manufacturer, that actually does have them features. It does actually have safety features on it, and so a way to actually put some oil that actually feeds onto the chain. This doesn't have any of that. That's one of the problems with this tool. As soon as you put that battery in there and you hit that trigger, it starts. So, as I think someone was saying, imagine that was in a tool bag and you've left the battery on and you went in to grab something and you just caught the power switch. And you've seen what that thing can do to a piece of wood. I mean, what's it going to do to your wrist or your fingers? So, I mean, one safety thing, if you're going to use one of these and you're going to put it in a tool bag, take the battery out. Please, please take the battery out, because that is your only safety. With the battery in, and it is a speed controller. So it's probably using PWM. It'll be a pulse width modulated driver there for the motor. But that seems to be the main issue with this, is you have no safety on it. Now, someone said, yeah, you've no kickback on it. I don't see that as a main issue, as a big problem. With the size of that blade there, if you're not familiar with like modernish chainsaws, they have what's called a safety brake on them, which is a bar that runs across like that. And essentially, if the chainsaw was to not kick back like that because it got caught or it got stuck, you bash into that bar and it instantly stops the blade. It puts a brake on the blade so you cannot cut yourself on it. And obviously this has nothing like that. But with the way you hold this and the pieces of wood that it's intended to cut, I don't consider that a safety issue. You'll see in a minute when I actually show you what I actually have used this saw for properly, and what I think is a really good saw for, that's not an issue. Like I said, the safety issue with this is the fact that you've not got any form of safety. You hit that trigger and it goes. All it needed was what it showed in the actual instructions there, which is like a secondary switch you had to hold in before you press that. In fact, I might actually have a word with my friend that owns this and see whether he'd be up for me actually doing something like that to make it more safe, to make it a safer thing to use. It would be easy enough just to add a secondary switch somewhere that had to be held in with another finger, perhaps up there, somewhere where it's comfortable to hold the actual tool. That can be, it would actually have to be a thing where you held that button in and press the trigger. That way it would actually make the tool reasonably safe. I mean, nothing like this is ever going to be totally safe just by the fact that you've got a spinning blade there with no guards on it or anything. But anyway, what we'll do, we'll take this out into the garden and I'll actually show you what I have been using it for and what I think this saw is really, really good for. So we'll go out there and I'll show you. Okay, we're out in the garden and this is one of my apple trees. Now, at the start of this year, I actually took a large branch off here that was overhanging one of the neighbours' gardens. And one of the problems when you trim a lot of trees, especially fruit trees like this, is they shoot up what we call, in the UK anyway, witches' brooms, which are little shoots like this coming off the main branch, and you get them coming all the way up the tree. And one of the things is, you really want to cut them off or else you're just going to have more and more growth. Sometimes you pick a few really strong ones if you want to train the tree in a certain way. But if you just cut them off like this here, they'll start sprouting again. What you have to do is take them right off at the tree there. And that's where this is absolutely perfect. Just watch this. It takes it off the tree absolutely perfectly, and that won't regrow. I'll just do another one. I'll just get you up a little bit higher up the branch, because we have them basically, I've cut most of them off already, but we still have a few growing up here like this. I'll just get a bit further up so you can see properly what we're doing. So as you can see them growing up here, 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 and we really need to take them off. So like I said, we just go in with the tree. It takes them straight off and nice and flat with the actual tree. Just do these two. There we go. And that's so much easier than using a normal handsaw, which is how I would normally do that. I would normally use like a panel saw or something very, very sharp. But that makes it so quick and easy to do. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. Like I said, it was just a little bit of an extended video on actually demonstrating this tool properly and showing it does actually have some valid purposes. But if you do buy one, be absolutely super careful with it, because they are a dangerous thing to have. And like I say, I'm going to leave it there for now. I hope you enjoyed this little video. So thanks for watching and goodbye.